And really their last 2 games, they've been improved.
Almost taken away, 2 to shoot. Deep 3 from Mayberry is no good, and a rare, what you would assume will be a rare offensive rebound for Arkansas, falls to Clarkson. Inside D's wild shot, not gonna go. Here comes Key. She's missed the last 6, also missed a couple more in there. Strack takes the mid-range jumper and gets it to fall. And that's something Kenny Brooks talked to us about with Tion Key. It's not just the last 6. They really haven't been whole since mid-December.
Mid-December, yes, because before the LSU game, she had missed the 2 games before that. So this is when you want to be fully healthy down the stretch. I'm sure the Blue Nation's getting kind of nervous that Tion Key is on the floor scrambling for, in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Off the tip,
off tip,
this, 90 seconds in. This is not a Kentucky team that goes super deep in their bench. Their 5 starters all average 28 or more minutes per game. Key averages 23 minutes per game. There's D's off the bounce, going at Jordan Obi, and that shot was tipped by Obi, not one of their top 3 shot blockers, but it feels like everybody on this team can block shots.
Oh yeah, it's part of their defense.
Morgan with an and-one chance, just a couple minutes in.
Yeah, she's just so tough getting downhill. She is hard to guard. They're going to have to find some help side if they want to keep Toni Morgan in check today.
Kenny Brooks brought Toni Morgan out of the portal from Georgia Tech, played 3 years for Nell Fortner there. One of the really bigger gets in the transfer portal. This is not a Kentucky roster that was completely remade, just 5 newcomers, but impact newcomers with Morgan and then Asia Boone, their other transfer.
Exactly.
Into the corner, 3 on the way is good. Arkansas on the board thanks to Emily Robinson, the junior from Caddo, Oklahoma.
And speaking of players that coaches brought with them, Emily Robinson and Talia Jones, the starting backcourt for Arkansas, came with Coach Music from Oral Roberts.
There's Strack inside, and the ball slipped out of the hands of Key, but it stays with Kentucky.
You see already just in these first 2.5 minutes how Key is kind of everywhere and just making a difference, being an option, crashing the boards.
There's Morgan going baseline, corner 3, too strong, and a nice job by Clarkson to rebound that. Another 3 on the way. Jones, this time it rattles home, and Arkansas, a little bit of a slow start offensively, is on top 6-5.
Both these teams are very much in the top of the SEC in 3-pointers made. And Jones is probably the #1 threat for Arkansas, so got to get out on her.
Arkansas even better over the last couple games, shooting 40% from 3. Strack airballs that one from the corner. Jones hands it off for Robinson. The former Oral Roberts teammates cannot connect on that one. Here comes Morgan. Back and forth pace we go. Another long ball. That one falls for Amelia Hassett.
Okay, well, so much for my early game comments about getting downhill. Clearly, both teams are kind of just taking what the defense gives them. And they both love their 3s.
Clarkson really thought about that one. D's trying to go inside. Now Robinson probing. Corner 3 from Mayberry. That goes down. Wildcat Mayberry.
That's big for Arkansas because Mayberry's not been as efficient as they've wanted her to be. She had a knee injury last year, and if she can get going, that'll be incredibly valuable for Arkansas today.
Career game number 136 for Wildcat Mayberry today, finishing up her college career where her dad, Lee, was an All-American on the men's side. That rattles out. Dees has the rebound for Arkansas. Dees off her foot, picked up by Hassett. Jordan Obi don't really have numbers, and Obi charges right through Robinson. It's a turnover.
Robinson is that kind of player. I mean, she can shoot it. She's a scorer. She's a creator, but she makes plays on defense. And that was, she played that about as well as she could. Here we have her blood drill in the open court. Gets in front, takes the charge.
Arkansas's offense all coming from beyond the arc. 3 threes on 5 attempts. Another one on the way from Clarkson this time. She knew she missed it, tracks down her own miss. Cannot get it around Strack, and that will end up going off of the Razorbacks.
That might have seemed like a wild shot, but she has that little scoop shot. You know, some posts have a hook shot. Clarkson has a scoop shot, so she can make that.
Five minutes played. Kentucky got off to a great start offensively. Slowed down a little bit. Now Morgan inside, missing. Thought that there was contact. Strack can't pull in the offensive rebound. Robinson over the top of the two bigs. Hassett at 6'4", Strack at 6'5". Robinson still down on the baseline. And we will check on that when we return. Arkansas up 11-8, 5.5 minutes in. He is at Arkansas, though, trying to get a program rolling that's missed 3 straight NCAA tournaments. Morgan inside with the left hand does finish this time, and no, it's going to be an offensive foul on Morgan.
Wow. It just looked from our vantage point where there was just a ton of space. Clearly, Arkansas is struggling to defend the ball screens. And right here, well, you know, the circle isn't in play anymore. That's pretty generous, I think, because she was pretty much underneath the basket.
To your point, the restricted arc doesn't matter, but the cylinder does.
It does. You should have to be out in front of the cylinder. Well said, Chucky.
There's Jordan Obi for Kentucky. Now Morgan, who is pretty much at will, got into the hoop in this game. Strack spinning. Inside Obi, fades away, misses, and it's tipped off Strack. Arkansas basketball. Kentucky has a scoring drought right now that's approaching 3 minutes. They've turned it over 3 times in that span as well. The offense just not clicking. Yeah,
I mean, they're getting good looks. I think uncharacteristic for Tony not to, to get charges because she's such a great decision maker. And she's been setting people up. The shots just haven't been falling. So credit Arkansas's defense.
It's been an interesting stretch for Kentucky as Morgan pushes the tempo the other way. Corner 3, good. Splashes in from Asia Boone.
Asia Boone had 5 threes in their last outing against Georgia, so she is picking up where she left off.
Kentucky, they lose at Mississippi State, then they go to Tennessee on a Thursday, lose that game by 2 points, heartbreaker. They turn around and drive back to Lexington, and then Friday, about the middle of the day, they're told they're going to play Georgia on Saturday instead of Sunday. We talked to Kenny Brooks about that, and it's like it just really alters your plans. You think you're going to do one thing on Friday, instead you're playing another game in 24 hours.
And they weren't the only team to really get kind of be out of luck, we'll say, with some of the scheduling issues with Fern and the bad weather. But that was a lot. I mean, they were playing zone. They're not a zone team. I mean, they were exhausted, and they just had to try to find a way. And they almost won.
And the midweek off probably came at a good time for the Wildcats. Chance to get a little rest and rebound. There is Strack cashing in on the mid-range. She's got 4 points so far. Too strong on that attempt. Jones couldn't keep it alive. And now Morgan. Dees whistled for the foul.
There's that explosiveness that we talked about. I mean, she's just so strong and quick when she's getting downhill. It is very, I really haven't seen, I've watched a lot of Kentucky games. I haven't seen anybody single-handedly keep her in check, keep her in front.
That was number 2 on Dees as well, so she's going to have to take a seat here with 2:30 to play in the first quarter, and certainly something to keep an eye on. Hassett contested 3, offensive rebound by Key, spinning with the right hand this time. That is the elbow that was injured against Missouri. Looks pretty good.
Looks really good.
Rodriguez scanning the floor. Strack guarding her, and a travel.
And a player like Key, she comes in, okay, we're not making our shots. Let me just go get us some offense off the glass, right? Like that's what your senior veteran leaders That's the way they think, and that's how they play.
Boone into Strack, little high-low here with Key. Look at this ball movement. Good defense from Arkansas. Morgan on the drive. Hassett, another tough three. And rims off. Now Arkansas's offense slowing down a bit. They haven't scored for over 3 minutes. Jones looking for help, and it's deflected out of bounds. On this end for Arkansas, how do you deal with this length for Kentucky when they're 6'4", 6'5" all over the floor?
Yeah, you got to move them. You got to move them and spread them out. So their dribble drive offense, the whole goal is like pass, get them on a long closeout, attack, and then you see the fill behinds, like they're trying to get the fill behinds, and keep getting them on closeouts and getting out of the paint. I mean, you can see it's 5 out right here, but Kentucky, I don't think Kentucky's going to leave the paint. I think they're going to make decisions, and they're also just doing a great job of keeping them in front. Oh, beautiful
nice
backdoor cut by Jones. She's as good a scorer she is with the ball in her hand. She is very talented off ball, reads the game really well.
That was with about 2 on the shot clock. Harmony Ware with the pass. Morgan, oh, look at that push pass across to the corner and just rims out for Hassett. McKee has the offensive rebound and is fouled.
So we look at this again. Here we go. Looks like nothing. Here's how you make something out of nothing. Great backdoor cut by Jones.
Talia Jones, Arkansas's leading scorer, about 17 points per game. Had 23 against LSU. That was the 8th time this year she's hit the 20-point mark. Trying to go inside to Key, and that's a turnover.
Yeah, just kind of, you got to pass 2 people, not to space. When you're posting up like that down low, you can't move. You got to hit me on my numbers.
Robinson spinning. This is an aggressive take from Robinson, and somehow it falls.
Another tough shot. That was not bad defense by Asia Boone.
About 5 seconds separating the shot and game clock. Inside to Key. Key spinning and gets a really good look at the rim.
Yeah, she set up Lawrence really well for that drop step.
Another backdoor here and another great feed and finish. This time it's Ware on the receiving end. The 3/4 court shot just shy of.
And eventually who she will be. And Kenny made every chemo appointment that they had together in Kentucky. So it's really made their family closer.
Kenny said when he was, the Kentucky opportunity came up and she was going through that, she was a big reason he accepted it. Said, look, I'll be fine. Go get this opportunity to go to Kentucky, and they have loved it, and they're now 2 years there in Lexington. Strack got a bucket to start this quarter. There's a miss at the other end and a rebound for Tion Key, making her return after a 6-game absence, and Kentucky looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. While Arkansas still seeking their first SEC win of the 2025-26 campaign. Obi inside the Key. Nice patience, and it rolls in.
It's kind of an easy finish on the lunge defensively, but love that Kenny Brooks is going right to his very missed senior, Tion Key.
6 points, 5 rebounds already for Key in about 11 minutes of this game. Robinson staying aggressive, and another tough finish for Emily Robinson.
Well, she's setting her defender up with these drives, and then that spin move, she's taking the space. And let's see this again. It was just beautifully executed. She sets up Hassett, who is one of their stoppers. Great, just drop step spin. Scores with the contact.
Emily Robinson already over her season average. Has now 10 points. That's a game high. She averages a little under 7.5 a game. Arkansas hanging right in there with Kentucky. Key, little fadeaway. Missed everything.
I'd like to see them stay with the power game. Maybe Kentucky can generate some free throw offense that Arkansas is Great hands by who else? Tion Key.
Even watching them last night in kind of a casual shoot-around setting, I mean, she was just, the energy was there. You could just feel she was excited that this day had finally arrived.
And that's what the coaches said. It's just different when she's out there. She just brings tremendous energy.
Strack trying to direct traffic in the paint. She's got a mismatch on Robinson, but they couldn't get it into her. Boone is tripped up, and a foul going to go against Harmony Ware.
That's a tough call for Arkansas. They really, they love to hard hedge and trap the ball screens, and they have actually hit a few screens and haven't done that. So they're executing it well now, and I thought they really had Asia Boone on the ropes there, but they called the foul.
Here's Key. Working against Clarkson, goes up, and there was a little bit of help coming from the other side. Jenna Lawrence bothering that shot. Now Arkansas looking for the lead. Good defense by Strack. Step back three. Too strong from Talea Jones.
You can see that's on the scatter report. Do not give Jones a three-point shot. She had two people contesting that. Credit Arkansas just working hard to contest every Kentucky shot and doing a great job just boxing out, not giving them too many second looks.
This is Robinson with 10. First game for Emily Robinson in SEC play with double figures. Another three on the way. Jenna Lawrence just missing. That's a player for Arkansas who started 20 games for the previous staff a year ago, but primarily off the bench this year.
One of their top scorers in the preseason, though. She can really shoot it.
Here is Strack over Clarkson. Nice touch from Clara Strack in the paint.
Strack seems like she's just got good tempo today.
Robinson in the corner. Into Clarkson, and Strack takes it away. Hand off to Boone, going the other direction. Asia Boone was looking for help. It's great recovery from Harmony Ware.
Yeah, I would have liked to. Is that Wi-Fi in the buildings? It's slow, and you're just like yelling at your staff. What is it? What is it?
Are some of your former assistants at home saying, yeah, she yelled at us a few times?
We didn't have that. We actually didn't have what like we have now in the WNBA. Nice finish by Talea Jones.
Jones and Robinson, the two Oral Roberts transfers, have combined for 17 points for Arkansas, down just one. Here is Strack. She has 8 points. Little fadeaway, and that is a clean shot from Clara Strack, and tough to defend when you're 6'5".
Yeah, she's on point today. This has been a minute since she's really been had a big scoring game. So this is good for Kentucky.
We'll slow her over the last three, but we know she can score. She had 18 against Oklahoma, had 21 against Florida in back-to-back games, but a little bit tougher with Tion Key out.
Well, and Coach Brooks said, I mean, a lot of in and out, just right there, good shots almost, and just didn't quite fall, and that happens.
Well, back and forth from her and Key, but the mid-range shot no good. Here is Jones going baseline, little jump stop, and she is fouled by Hassett. So a couple free throws for Talea Jones. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma native, spent 2 years with music at Oral Roberts. Averaged about 18 points per game as a 2-year starter there.
Yeah, she's fourth in the SEC in free throw shooting, so somebody you really want to keep off the line.
That's the first one.
And I did not jinx her. So, yay. She's ninth in the SEC in scoring.
This is where, as a coach, moving anywhere these days, you get a big benefit because you can bring your best player with you from an Oral Roberts. But
yes, we didn't get to do that back in the day.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's a similar situation as far as Arkansas has been on a little bit of a tough stretch over the last 3 years. You took over Arizona State when they had not had a ton of sustained success, but a little different how you can rebuild it now.
Oh, yeah. Back then it was 3 or 4 years. Now it's right away. Beautiful high-low on that last possession with Key and Strack.
Trying to go at Strack. It's ripped away by Hassett. That was Jada Bates on the drive. Boone, pull-up three. Too strong. No, she's got big bodies inside to pull down the rebound. That was the very highly touted freshman Kaylin Carroll with the offensive board. Key, another mid-range shot. Same result as the last one.
Yeah, Arkansas is basically giving Kentucky's post their perimeter shots. They're being strategic there, saying beat us from the outside.
Jones off the mark from three. Strack another rebound. It's taken away from Strack. And now Jones on the drive. Mayberry, deep three. And that is going to be a foul on Jenna Lawrence, who pulled down the steal from Strack.
I don't know if you saw that after a little bit extra after the play there with Strack and Lawrence, mainly Strack. So the frustration's palpable right now for Kentucky. But you know, this is what we were talking about. I mean, everybody's playing for everything. There is not going to be. You are going to be very lucky if you have an easy game in the SEC in the month of February.
Boone driving, and she is fouled in the paint. Third team foul against Arkansas with 4 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Yeah, I think we got Mayberry for that one. And just, you know, unnecessary. They had her deep penetration, kind of over-penetrated on that play. Asia Boone did, and just want to make her make a play and not foul.
Have not seen a lot of Bonnie Deese in this first half after she picked up the quick 2 fouls.
Yeah, coaches have different philosophies about that. Some it's like, you're done. We'll see you in the second half.
Key with a strong move but misses. Clarkson has the rebound. It helps when you're in it though, right? When the score is in check.
Exactly. So if things start to get away, that will be the question for Coach Music if she goes back with her.
Clarkson skips it across for Robinson. Over Strack. Deep three, no. Clarkson keeps it alive. Too strong on the opportunity, though. They've had some second chance opportunities but haven't capitalized.
They have. They're getting in there, and they're just being a little more aggressive and a little more physical at times than Kentucky on the boards is Arkansas.
Strack calling for it. This is a whistle.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Bates with the hold down low. And I love seeing Strack just get down there. I mean, really, Arkansas doesn't have big players. I mean, I think she can get down there and get position like she has been. Draw some fouls, get some high lows.
Strack has 8 of Kentucky's 10 points they've scored in this second quarter. Obi cutting, she's doubled, back out for Key. Quick ball movement from UK. Key fading away, really tough. Strack's there though and lays it in.
I love that. Shoot it up, I got you, buddy. Owning the weak side board.
Lawrence almost lost it. Really tight defense from Tion Key. And then Lawrence travels.
Yeah. Good call. Good heads up play by Lawrence too, to just try to throw it off her defender's leg.
Lawrence, Arkansas native, and a holdover from the last staff. It's turnover number 8 against the Razorbacks. Has been an issue at times this year. Key driving against Bates, and she is fouled.
I love the adjustment. Okay, my shot's not falling. Last 2 possessions, Tion Key puts it on the floor. They're giving her space, so she's getting a good first step.
Clara Strack will take a rare break in this first half for Kentucky.
Well, this is for Arkansas. As Kentucky gets more and more aggressive, a huge key is for them just to try to play position defense without fouling. When they do, Kentucky is missing their shots, but this is sometimes what separates the good from the great. You know, it's just that you got some really good offensive scorers and you can't just foul them when they get a step on you.
Here's Robinson. Arkansas hasn't scored in more than 3 minutes. Clarkson. Bates, tough shot. Too short. Lawrence crashing the boards. That is going to put Kentucky on the free throw line at the other end.
So again, I mean, I usually don't mind the free throw, the rebounding fouls. You know, you've got to try to create some extra possessions. Jada Bates with the three, she can hit that shot. But right here, I mean, make a move, you know, get on the side, don't climb somebody's back. But, you know, she has the right idea. I mean, they've got to, you know, they're not going to live on one shot and beat Kentucky today.
Hassett at the line for two and gets the first one. We've got one more gymnastics meet for you this weekend right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. 8th-ranked Georgia hosts 11th-ranked Auburn in Athens tonight at 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Ever a gymnast in your time?
No. I was probably short enough to be.
Bates in the paint. Arkansas, they need a little boost here down the stretch. 9 made field goals, 8 turnovers in this first half. They have really struggled to score it over the last 4 minutes, and so Robinson goes to the cup and fixes that.
Nice little pump fake. Robinson is deceptively quick with her drives.
Snaps an 8-0 Kentucky run. Good defense by Robinson. It was an awkward step from Obi. There's Strack, though. She misses short. Back for Obi again. Lost the handle, and Strack is fouled on the third opportunity.
Kentucky just owning the boards right now. And I think that's, you know, when they go into halftime here, Arkansas is going to talk about playing position defense without fouling, and they're going to talk about staying matched and limiting Kentucky to one shot. This team is Kentucky so efficient. You just can't give them second and third shots. But I do love Arkansas's aggressiveness. You know, they're just fighting, they're clawing, they're scratching, you know, every possession. And that's what they need to be doing.
That's one thing Kelsey Music talked to us about with this team. You know, what are you most proud of in year one? It's been the resilience with this. It's not been easy in SEC play, certainly, but it was shown in the game against Georgia and LSU. And then in this game, too, they are playing with some really good SEC teams. It's just not been for 4 quarters.
Well, they're very much in this game today.
Nice move from Larson, and that's going to be an and one chance.
And you know, I think her dad's here because I was behind in the rental car counter picking up my car, and a big guy, seemed like probably her dad's age, was wearing a Clarkson 21 shirt, so showing out for dad today.
Just short on the free throw, and it will belong to Kentucky. 6-point game, but those last couple buckets, Robinson and Clarkson feel really big for the Razorbacks.
Agreed. I mean, and then, you know, Jones is, you know, kind of going, but I think look for her to really get going. Okay, they're in their 2-3 zone here, which I'd like to mix in a little bit.
Great pass from Strack. Lobbing it into Key just over her head.
Right idea. You want to throw that up by the corner of the backboard instead of over.
See Strack patting her chest saying, my bad. Under 30 seconds to play in the first half.
Rodriguez back in for the Razorbacks.
Here she is. Hand off to Jones, 6 to shoot. Jones going at Key, too strong on the layup opportunity. Boone's going to pull it out. 4 seconds. Boone back for Strack. The 3 is no good. And Kentucky will lead by Robinson has scored in double figures for the first time in more than a month and a half, and she did it in just 2 quarters against one of the best defenses in the country. Here is Robinson. Both Tony Morgan for Kentucky and Bonnie Dees for Arkansas did not play a lot in that second quarter because of foul trouble. Both start the second half on the floor. Here's Dees trying to make up for lost time, but short, and Hassett has the rebound. Third quarter in Baton Rouge for Arkansas was a nightmare the other night. Minus 16 in the quarter against the LSU Tigers, who appear to have figured things out because they dominated Alabama today as well. Morgan inside the Key, And a nice rotation from Talia Jones to get the tie-up.
Yeah, they like to trap the ball screens, and then they're going to tag in and be ready for that vertical pass. Great job by Arkansas.
Nittany Key in her return, 8 points, 7 rebounds so far. Morgan's layup disrupted, and here comes Dees. Now Robinson attacking Key, back out for Dees. 3-ball, good.
Not a high percentage. I mean, 27% from the 3 this year, but Bonnie Dees is a rested player for this third quarter, and she's a gamer.
Australian native from Frankston, Melbourne. Strack inside, lays it up and in.
That's a big time move. That's a pro move. That was a great pivot through.
Jones trying to scoop layup. Hassett thought she blocked it, but it's going to be a foul on Amelia Hassett, her second.
And that's Kentucky's game. I mean, they don't give you the driving lane, but they funnel you a little bit, and they want to block your shot. And Hassett's very good at it, but picked up, I think it's her second foul now of the game.
Kentucky maybe almost a little under the radar, it feels like right now. There's a lot of hype around Kentucky out of the gates. They started the season 15-1, but this recent stretch, just 2-4 in their last 6. They've lost 3 straight. When we look at the resume for them, one of 3 teams in the nation with 3 wins over opponents currently in the top 10. They have shown they can beat the best in the country.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree with you. I don't think they're under the radar. And now that Key's back, I wouldn't want to play them. They had their little lull. Everybody, I don't care, every year I ever coached, you have a little bit of a lull. Whether you have injured players or not, you just kind of hit the wall a little bit, you regroup, and you get ready to peak down the stretch. And I think that's where Kentucky's at.
Did you have a way of hitting the reset button, or was it kind of different for every team?
You kind of just got to get through it, and figure, kind of weather the storm a little bit. And every team is different. You're going to treat every team different, but you challenge them, you talk about it, you work through it. I know Coach Brooks had some good long meetings in his bye week with both Tony Morgan and Clara Strack, and he said they went really, really well. He just loves this team. I mean, they want to win. They're in the gym. I mean, the school's closed because of the weather, and they're like, hey, can somebody let us in the gym? And that's what you love. You want teams that you have to kick out of the gym.
We saw him talking to Tony Morgan on the sideline right there. One of the big things that he's talked with her about has been using her voice more. Loves her, loves the player, the person she is, but has challenged her to be more of a vocal leader. He said she's kind of come in and maybe not wanted to step on anybody's toes because there are some established leaders here. Something he does want to see more from her.
Yeah, well, the point guard whisperer was on the sideline there giving his point guard a play during the free throws, so they are in lockstep. They are definitely connected.
Great body control from Jordan Obie to finish at the rim. It's a 5-point Kentucky lead. Dees will take the 3 and hits again. Bonnie Dees back in the game for Arkansas, making a big impact.
And I don't hate that Obie kind of dared her to shoot it a little bit. Again, not a high percentage 3-point shooter, but now she's hit 2, so might need to guard her out there.
Another easy one for Tony Morgan at the rim. For Arkansas, the first 3 that Dees made in this third quarter was their first since the 6-13 mark in the first quarter. They'd missed 7 straight.
And they are actually 6th in the SEC in 3-pointers made.
Average about 8 makes per game. They've been really good over the last couple. She takes a seat. It's Arkansas basketball. Bonnie Dees has it, 6 points for her, all of them in this quarter on a couple triples. Robinson looking for help out for Dees. 5 to shoot against Key. Big size advantage for Key. And Dees got herself in trouble because of that length.
Love the perimeter defense by Tion Key. She's definitely on people's draft boards as well, and that is a huge asset when your bigs can switch on to players or just guards.
Arkansas trapping Key just beyond half court. It's going to be a jump ball, and it'll be Arkansas basketball.
I love the aggressiveness by Arkansas. And really, Kentucky might have got a little lucky there. That might have been a travel.
Kelsey Music agrees with you. She was doing the travel sign on the sideline when they whistled that for a jump ball.
You know, got to call it as we see it.
You would never argue with a referee, would you?
Oh. I take them to the limit, and then I try not to get a technical foul.
I like it.
But I got to have my players' backs.
Key deflects that pass out of bounds from Dees.
And Tony Morgan back in the game, so huge for Kentucky. Because as you said, Chucky, she is the engine. She makes this team go.
Morgan guarding Jones. Wild shot from Jones. There's a foul here, and if it's on Morgan, it's 3. It is on Tony Morgan. So she comes right back in. They immediately attack her, and she has foul number 3.
Yeah, I thought they were actually going to call it on Strack there because she came over late. But, yeah, Tony Morgan is a difference maker. And, you know, that's hard. It's a sideways drive. On a sideways drive, you know, give space. They're not going anywhere. And I don't know. This is, you know, I think Kentucky's got to make sure they just stay relaxed, stay true to who they are, because Arkansas's not going away. And I'll reiterate that you do not want to put Jones on the free throw line. She is money.
6 for 6 today. She's got 13. Robinson has 12. Dees has 6 in this third quarter.
Arkansas back in their 2-3 zone. KK Carroll with the open 3.
Strack, fade away. No, and a rebound here by Clarkson. This is a massive Kentucky lineup on the floor right now. 4 players at 6'4" or bigger. D Snow and rebound by Strack. She's got a double-double. Strack on the drive. Back out for Boone. The lefty fires, and it rattles out. Strack fighting for another rebound. It'll belong to Kentucky, and there might have been a little extra on that one, or at least there were no pleasantries. And you're right, it was not after the play. It was on the rebound with that arm coming back and colliding with, I think it was Dees.
Yes.
Jones hits both. She's 8 for 8 from the line. We're tied, and here it is.
And here we go. So you have Strack kind of hooking Dees a little bit, and then, yeah, just swings her arm, definitely gets her above the shoulders, and that's an automatic. That makes sense to me.
We're tied up at 40 apiece. Kentucky, you said it, just not in rhythm right now on the road, and Arkansas seemingly growing with confidence as this game goes on. Here's Mayberry. Hit a 3 early. Haven't seen much scoring from her since. That is the 15th foul on Kentucky. So for the next 5 minutes, the Razorbacks are going to be in the bonus here in the third.
And Kentucky needs to adjust right now. The officials are calling this game very tight. So, you know, give some space. Obviously, dribble drive. That's what you do. They're going to catch and dribble. So you just want to give space, keep them in front, and make them take mid-range shots.
Mayberry misses the first. This is our SEC Network Wednesday men's basketball matchup. Rashawn Agee and Texas A&M atop the SEC in year 1 of the Bucky McMillan era. They'll take on LeBaron Philon at number 23. Alabama at Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern. It will remain Kentucky basketball. Boone lost the handle. Tight defense from the freshman Dees, who has just had a tremendous impact in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter.
Yes, she has. And love the pickup and the pressing by Arkansas. They're staying aggressive. 9 times out of 10, Chucky, the most aggressive team wins the game.
Into Strack. A lot of attention on her. Clarkson thought she had blocked the shot. Clarkson's been a big reason for their success, too. She's got 10 rebounds. She's been dealing with all the bigs for Kentucky in this game. Does get the foul here.
Absolutely. And this is the one thing with Clarkson. She's kind of still adjusting. Been in foul trouble a number of games, which is not good because really the Razorbacks need her out there. Have to give her a shout out from Arizona. She's played at Eastern Arizona Community College from Pima, Arizona.
Strack gets 1 of 2, and we are tied at 41. Mayberry Robinson three. She got it. Emily Robinson connects again. 15 for her.
Kentucky's got a really big lineup in now to defend all these perimeter players, so they're going to have to get out on shooters.
Boone misses. Here comes Dees. Wants to run. Robinson. Dees cutting. Scoop layup. No. And she is fouled at the rim.
So here we go. It's just, dribble drive, sideways drive. Nobody around at all on Robinson, which is a little bit surprising, and she makes them pay. We saw her score a lot in the paint in the first half, but she is a high percentage three-point shooter for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, she's hit a 3 in 9 straight games. She's tied a season high with 15 as Dees misses the first free throw. And Emily Robinson just a junior, Bonnie Dees just a freshman, so some of their key contributors can come back next year. Obi runs it down, doubled in the corner. Kentucky gets out of it though, and here come the Wildcats. Skipped across, Hassett three. Rebound Dees, but there's a whistle on the rebound. It's going to go against Bonnie Dees. Her third foul.
Is it Clarkson or Dees? I'm not sure.
It is on Dees, number 3.
I'd like to see Kentucky kind of come down and maybe get some better looks. I mean, they've come down twice in a row and just taken a quick shot, and they didn't have rebounders on either one. And I think their offensive rebounding is pretty important.
Strack fading away from Clarkson, short. Clarkson upset with that foul call. 2 free throws coming for Clara Strack. That's 3 now on Clarkson.
Yeah, I mean, usually on that step back, you're not really going to have a lot of contact. But Larson, you know Strack's going to make that move, so you purposely step into her space. I didn't really see it, but she must have got her a little bit. She definitely was playing her smart. Just can't be. I mean, hey, big-time college basketball, they're going to protect their stars. I'm just going to say it as a coach. It happens, in the pros. It happens in college. If you're a proven elite scorer, you might get a few more calls.
It's both free throws this time. Strack.
That said, I think the staff is doing a very good job. And again, they're calling it tight. So both teams need to adjust.
20 points, 12 rebounds for Clara Strack. Jones on the pump fake. Out for Robinson. Too strong this time. Nice rebound by Asia Boone. Boone wants the 3. Rims out. Strack is fighting for it, and she is fouled, trying to pull down the offensive rebound. It's funny because Kenny Brooks talked to us. Said it's not just the stat sheet for Clara Strack. She does so much more, and he's talking about, of course, her defensive impact, just adjusting shots, not always blocking them. Talking about how they put her on an island defensively, but even stuff like that right there.
Yeah, I mean, she's a big girl, and she rebounds over the top a lot. She made a move on that play. She got around her player and rebounded out of her area as a 6'5" forward, and that's impressive.
Clara Strack came with Kenny Brooks from Virginia Tech. Just 1 year there. She's still just a junior.
Free throw offense is going to be, the way this game is being officiated, really important. Great rebound on the free throw by Millie Hassett.
Hassett, another Australian in this game, along with Bonnie Dees. Here's Robinson, another strong take around Hassett. Emily Robinson having her SEC coming out party. Morgan losing the handle and her footing, and here comes Jones. It's 5-on-4 for Arkansas as Morgan's got to get back. Mayberry, too strong. Here's Strack. Size advantage inside. She knows it. And she will go to the free throw line again.
How about the big girl dribbling around the guard? Great take by Strack.
Clara Strack going to shoot free throws 9 and 10. Trying to give Kentucky the lead. She is 4 for 8 so far at the free throw line. Still more hoops coming up. Our triple header capped off by 5th-ranked Vandy hosting Florida in Nashville. Also available on the ESPN app. Michaela Blakes and Liv McGill facing off, both averaging over 20 points per game. Another offensive rebound off a free throw.
Hey, I can't tell you how many games we won just crossing on free throws, getting a putback. I get very frustrated when teams don't pinch, don't box out, don't cross, and don't understand. It's a great opportunity to get a putback or get a possession. Clara Strack's kind of struggling from the free throw line, but it's actually working out for Kentucky.
Part of this, the problem in the paint right now is Clarkson is on the bench for Arkansas because she's in foul trouble with 3. They're trying to give her a spell, but it's really costing Arkansas in the paint. There's Clarkson looking on. She's got 10 rebounds in the game. She's only got 2 points, but it's really been the fight she's been having with Strack and Key inside.
Yeah, she's an elite rebounder. She's been banging, taking space up. So they put Bates in, who's not a real strong player, but athletic. Maybe can get in there on some boards.
Strack on the bench for Kentucky, taking a break. Wildcats are up 13-0 in the second chance point category.
Well, that's absolutely the difference in the game right now. And what Arkansas has to stop if they want to win this game, pull off this upset.
Ware trying to step through. Pulled down by Boone. And now here comes Tony Morgan. Back for Boone. 3 on the way. Good, and Kentucky starting to click on offense.
I like that timeout with Coach Music. They're right there. And let's just talk about it, settle down. And Asia Boone at her best in transition, gets her feet set. Money, again, coming off a 5 3-point makes game against Georgia. She's feeling it right now.
First made 3 for Kentucky since the 3:30 mark in the first quarter. They've only hit 3 of them on 14 attempts. That was the 60th three-pointer for Asia Boone this season. Leads them in 3-point makes and certainly not afraid to fire it away with a contest in her face. Pushes that Kentucky lead to 7. It's an 8-0 run in 27 seconds.
Let's see what Coach Music has drawn up out of the timeout. Arkansas has fought so well. They really want to finish strong this last 2:20.
Clarkson and Dees both on the bench for the Razorbacks. Where's the scoring going to come from? Good defense by Obi. Bates hops inside. Oh, she is denied by Tion Key.
Yeah, Bates has been a good downhill driver for Arkansas, but she has just not been able to create anything today against this Kentucky defense. Right here, yeah, just not today. And that's what makes Kentucky one of the best defensive teams in the nation.
And you see Strack right there. It's not a block, but certainly bothered that shot from Rodriguez. Here's Boone.
Crowd wanted to travel there.
Key in the corner. Driving baseline and is bumped by Rodriguez. So free throws coming here for Tion Key.
Arkansas is really being strategic about who they're guarding and who they're not. Strack goes out on the perimeter, they're leaving her. Obi on the perimeter, they're leaving her. So that's really helping them kind of clog. So they really don't want to foul on that drive. Just, let their help side work for them and make Kentucky make shots.
Bring players back like Strack and Key, Amelia Hassett now in year 2 for Kentucky. How much does that put you ahead of things? Just with preseason, you get the team back and get going for the year. I mean, how much of an advantage is that for you as a coach?
Experience is a huge advantage. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in the world of new team, and it's challenging for these coaches to sustain culture and, just build chemistry. But Kentucky has an advantage, and that's why I don't think they're a sleeper, Chucky. I think everybody is very, very aware, and if you're the Blue Nation, you're very excited about things. If you're everybody else, you know that they can, they can really make a deep run in the tournament this year.
Wildcats have a win at Louisville back in late November, at LSU on New Year's Day, and then against Oklahoma in Lexington in mid-January. Not many can claim a resume that strong with those types of wins on it. Ware gets both free throws at the line and cuts the lead back to 7 for Kentucky.
Been doing a good job of mixing up their defenses. They're back in their 2-3 zone.
Oh, and they just left Asia Boone, who cashes it from long distance again.
Coach Music is just not. That's what we're just talking about, chemistry and experience and stuff like that, and her whole new team. I mean, they're trying to mix up defenses, doing new stuff, and they probably don't know their rotations real well. And Boone almost gets her third 3 in a row.
She is a confident player, transfer from Liberty, where she was a 2-year starter. And Asia Boone, so when you see her wide open from 3, she shoots more than 80% of her shots from beyond the arc, so you know what she's hunting.
Yeah, and that's the big thing with the zone. I mean, you gotta know personnel. Oh, nice take by Clara Strack. That was almost too easy. That was her easiest bucket of the day for sure.
Some frustrating ones here as this third quarter winds down for Kelsey Music and company. Kentucky up 12 and trying to extend it in transition. Strack expanding her range, rims around and out. She can hit it. She's hit 15 of them this year.
She has. It was halfway down, just a little hard. I love both these teams just play with a lot of freedom. Both these coaches are clearly, letting these teams, everybody's kind of has the green light. I know my players always love that.
Ware misses the first free throw.
Kentucky 22 free throws for the game. Arkansas 18 free throws for the game. And still 10 more minutes to play. So we'll see if Kentucky might just, they might just let Tony Morgan create out of this zone. Maybe with a high on ball screen, just kind of let her attack. Oh, nice pass in the mid. Really good execution.
Key does have the offensive rebound. 6 seconds left in the third. Hassett trying to go to Strack. And it's going to go out of bounds off Kentucky. It was a nice rotation from Jada Bates. 2.5 seconds for Arkansas to get a shot up. Into Robinson. Fires it and not going to go. So that'll take us to the fourth quarter. Arkansas led. UKI, you coached against her. What do you remember most about her?
She just has a great way about her. I mean, and I really spent more time with her really after she was retired and fighting breast cancer and trying to help her through the WBCA. But just a very inspirational person. My favorite quote, of course, is when life kicks you, let it kick you forward. And she was one of the most resilient people around.
Kentucky kicks off this fourth quarter with a 3 from Millie Hassett, and the Wildcats finished on a great run, 15-3 in the third quarter after Arkansas had taken the lead and were playing really tough. Ware inside trying to get the response. She'll go to the line to try and make it a 3-point play.
And that's their offense. I mean, they're just going to keep looking for those seams and driving downhill. I think Kentucky's adjustment is just distract. Don't let them draw the foul. Don't give them the 3-point play. I really expected Hassett to come in here and hit some threes. I mean, in the last 2 games, she's 4 for 7 and 4 for 8, so 8 for 15 from the 3-point line coming into this game.
15 against Georgia, 16 at Tennessee. Ware could not cap off the 3-point play. Arkansas needs stops, though, after that scoring explosion down the stretch in the third quarter from the Wildcats. Key. Strack at the rim, and that is just too easy for Clara Strack, who is now up to 25 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, when Kentucky executes that pass, there's nothing Arkansas can do. They had a few high-low passes that went a little bit wayward, but right here, just beautiful execution, placed perfectly, and Arkansas, they're trying to side deny, but then on the catch, they've got nothing. Help side was a little late.
It's the shooter's roll. 26 now for Strack. Her 11th double-double of the season. Certainly has to be in the conversation for SEC Defensive Player of the Year again. Nice take inside by Talia Jones. Skipped across for Hassett. Key. Morgan back for Hassett. Again, Millie Hassett hits.
And that's what makes Morgan so good. She knows who has the
teens. So he watched her run her practices and said that when he and one of his friends were assistants at VMI, his buddy asked him, he said, "What's your dream job?" And he said, "I want to be the head coach, the head women's coach at James Madison." Of course, that came true and was pretty successful.
Great story, wonderful story. Now, you know, I think if you asked him his dream job like 10 years later, he might be at it right now, doing a phenomenal job with these Kentucky Wildcats. I love that story. I love when people come away from the dark side and come coaching the women's game. Great steal by Jones. Misses the layup. Boy, that was going to be big for Arkansas.
That sums up about the last 4 minutes for Arkansas right there. Just has not gone their way.
But there's no quit in this team. To your point, resilient team. They're going to keep fighting, and there's still lots of time left in this game.
Boone in the mid-range. She just talked about she takes over 80% of her shots from three, so steps inside there for the 15-footer.
Well, she's shown us this year that she is not just a three-point shooter. She is a three-level scorer.
Clarkson from long distance, no. Another rebound for Strack, number 12.
Yep, missed them one more to her teammate Robinson there. And that's where, you know, just the newness, a new team, learning each other. That's what Kentucky does so well. Great drive and take and finish by Tion Key. Kentucky gets out there, and you know, when somebody's hit a three, they get them the ball. They just do such a great job of sharing, but also getting the right shot for the right person at the right time. And there's not a lot of teams that play at that level. I think we've seen that here in the second half in Kentucky. Saw in the first half, they just didn't make the shots.
This has just been a great get-right game for Kentucky. There's still 7 minutes left, but the Wildcats have 20 with one of the best defenses in the country, looking likely to snap a 3-game losing streak. And with what they've got coming up next, this was necessary. When you're going to play Vanderbilt next, you're going to go to Texas. They still got to go to Vanderbilt as well down the stretch. They finished their regular season with South Carolina, so just really tough final 7 games after this one for Kentucky.
Definitely. And, you know, when you get a top player back, we didn't really talk about, I mean, there are chemistry issues there a little bit, you know, working through getting her back into the action. There's Tony Morgan, just so elusive.
9 points, 6 assists for Tony Morgan. Jones' three-point attempt blocked by Hassett. They have over 100 blocks, almost with just Strack and Hassett combined, but certainly with Key thrown in there. And then Hassett's finding her stroke here in this second half as well. She's got 16 points.
And for that really tough schedule down the stretch, Hassett going with Strack, with Key, with Morgan, with Boone is going to be huge.
Mayberry answers for Arkansas.
Yeah, we'll see if Arkansas maybe takes a timeout, gets into any kind of man press.
Taken away by Dees. Morgan thought there was a foul. Now Bonnie Dees lays it up and in.
The fearless freshman is not done. Not too many people take the ball away from Tony Morgan.
Tony Morgan over Dees, hits it. I think she remembered that. Maybe a little talk in there at the end.
Just a little bit. She's used to playing against her brothers, and she says queen instead of king, you know, king of the hill. She's queen of the hill, and she's a very, very good one-on-one player. So right here, yeah, I mean, there might have been a little contact there, but, I mean, Dees just shot the gap, saw the high dribble, and creates the easy two for the Razorbacks, who are not going away. she usually guards the best player on the team, and she has great defensive instincts. Talia Jones at the free throw line again, which she's really good at getting to and really good at capitalizing on.
For Bonnie Dees, who's played for the youth ranks of the Australian national team, she's played some international ball. When you come over as a true freshman, you're playing in the States, you're playing big-time Division I college basketball. What's the adjustment like for her, just stylistically even?
Yeah, it is kind of a different game, and so I think you get used to, like, the physicality is I think a lot different, and you don't get the extra step. few different rules from FIBA, but mainly I think just a little bit faster pace, better defense, more physical, and we see that a little bit with her in some of her decision making, over penetrating and having some turnovers. But I think she's adjusted pretty well, if you ask me.
Here's Jones. Steps back. Rodriguez against Strack. Trying to throw it over the top of Strack, and that is just a tough task as Clara Strack has her 13th rebound to go with 26 points. Morgan on the drive. Dees hits the deck, and Morgan scores it.
Speaking of physicality, I mean, that's it right there. Just that little shoulder drop. Dees thinks she's going to kind of muscle her, and she gets knocked to the floor. Toni Morgan gets 2.
I think Morgan forgot that she took it from her very quickly. As Mayberry misses in the paint.
Yeah. We'll see if she takes it at her one more time.
Strack wants the 3, and that is just not fair that Clara Strack can sit out there at the three-point line and hit at 6'5".
And they actually were out there on her. They hadn't been guarding her most of the game, but they got out there. Another block by Strack.
It goes off Kentucky. I mean, if Clara Strack, she shoots just under 25%. If that goes up, though, how high can she climb on a draft board?
Well, there's no doubt that being able to shoot the 3, stretch the defense is huge for the W. I think the other piece is defending out there, and probably still continuing to gain some strength, even though she has gotten a lot stronger each year she's played.
Dees corner 3, that goes. Quick fire 3 from Bonnie Dees. All 11 points for her have come in this second half. Strack already at a career high 29, trying to eclipse the 30-point mark. This time Key in the paint, and she's got 2 free throws coming up. Tion Key in her return, a double-double, 15 and 10. 3 assists. You would imagine most of them to Clara Strack on that high-low they like so much.
Yeah, I think everybody's just breathing a sigh of relief over on that bench, and the Blue Nation wow, we're finally fully healthy. Like you mentioned, it's been since December 14th since this team has been whole, and couldn't be a better time for these Wildcats.
Certainly Kentucky is not short on scoring options. 6 players in double figures, but Tion Key, she just has a chance to dominate a game, and we saw it as Dees goes into paint and scores again. She's got 13, but Key against LSU in that big win in Baton Rouge, 17 points, 16 rebounds. There's just not a lot of players who can make that impact.
Exactly. Yeah, she's. There's a lot of WNBA coaches that are glad she's healthy now too. Want her playing out this season and available for the draft. I really appreciate this Arkansas team. I just have to say that. I mean, they're, obviously a few pieces away from being a contender. But I agree with you. I think when you look at their schedule down the home stretch, they've got some games that they can win. And again, they've just got they need 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes where they can sustain their effort, their focus. They've got the 2 biggest areas I think they need to clean up are they've got to be better on the boards, and they've got to play position defense without fouling, and if they do that, they're going to win some games down the stretch.
What does Kelsey Music want out of this first year? If you've been there to try and rebuild a program and get it going, what does she need to have in place after year 1?
Yeah, so we talked to her about that, and the most important thing is culture. Build your culture. Don't compromise that. Make sure all of your players understand who they are, what they do also, but mainly who they are, and build that foundation with their pillars and their core values. That's the most important thing that she wants out of this year, and I love it. I couldn't agree with her more.
So at the Division II level, just 4 years ago, 13 years at Division II, Southwestern Oklahoma State. Won a lot of games there as that hops up off of the shot clock out of bounds. Kentucky ball.
How about her Oral Roberts backcourt that she brought with her? They're both just really impressive. On cue. Robinson gets to steal, drains the three. Talia Jones has been a force today, which unfortunately is why a lot of the below the power conferences is not as strong these days, because a lot of those players are getting paid and getting poached and moving up.
Jones and Robinson have combined for 39 points in the game for Arkansas. This was a game really midway point in the third quarter. Arkansas was leading.
Late in the third quarter, Chucky. I mean, again, that's why I'm just really impressed with this new young Arkansas team. And for Kentucky, bye week, a lot of rust, right? They're getting their rust off and just incorporating one of their star players back. So credit them for just kind of working through that for the first half of this game.
Dees with another three, 16 for her now. That last bucket for Clara Strack took her to a modest stat line of 31 points and 15 rebounds. Somehow she does not have a blocked shot today, but certainly has bothered plenty of them. This is a Kentucky team.
I don't think that stat's right.
Well,
I think we've called a couple blocks in this
maybe
game.
Somebody else's hand got there. That's what they're saying. Back into Strack, working on Robinson. That is not a fair matchup for Emily Robinson.
And that's a veteran team, seeing the mismatch and going at it. Boy, Robinson to Dees, this whole team just doing a great job executing the dribble outs, the back doors. We're going to get a timeout for substitution here.
Clara Strack's going to take a seat. I think she enjoyed herself today. 33 points, a new career high for her, and 15 rebounds to help Kentucky snap a 3-game losing streak. A lot of big games in the conference today and a lot of big margins. UConn beats Tennessee in that matchup in Stores by 30. LSU 103-63 over Alabama. The Tigers and Kim Mulkey look like they are finding their stride at the perfect time.
Absolutely, yeah. I never would have ever predicted these kind of margins with these key matchups, but those teams on top are really good defensive teams as well as great offensive teams, and I think that's probably the separator from what I'm looking at.
Into the shot clock for Morgan. There is a whistle and free throws for Tony Morgan. Tough part with LSU is the starters come out and they put another starting five in.
Yes, they do. Yeah, their depth. I think UCLA has the best depth in the country for sure, but LSU is right there. One of the probably top 2 or 3 teams that goes 10 deep, really. Kentucky does not have that advantage, but they certainly have a tremendous 7.
30 seconds to play. Arkansas's losing streak is going to grow to 9. Still looking for their first SEC win. They'll get the chance to do that this week against Missouri inside this building. One that both programs will be thinking they need to pick up against another one struggling in the league. Kentucky's going to dribble it out in what has been an extremely impressive final 12 minutes for the Wildcats.
Agreed, yeah.